Hi, I'm Angie. I want to welcome you to National Indoor RV Centers, where we specialize in the sales, storage, service, and detailing of only high-end new and used coaches. So basically, we do it all. Today I'm super excited to finally get the chance to show you the 2019 Newmar New Aire. So I've been waiting since April of 2017 when I first saw the New Aire introduced at the Newmar dealer meeting. These have been so popular, we haven't been able to keep them in stock. So I know a lot of you have been waiting for this video. I'm thrilled that you're here watching with me today, and we'll go all through this coach. This is a luxury coach in a small package. They didn't compromise anything to just make it smaller. So basically you've got an Essex in a New Aire, in a 33-foot coach, 12 feet high, so lower profile and shorter length. While we're here at the front of the coach, I want to make sure that you note the way that Newmar installs the windshield. So they do it just like the rest of the automotive industry. It's not installed with a gasket, so it's nice and clean, looks really nice. Then we have their beautiful paint job. They use the BASF paint, so they have full paint masterpiece finish with clear coat. And we have our beautiful convex chrome exterior mirrors. So these are heated and internally controlled. And if you look at the very top of the coach here, we've got our marker lights, and we have one of our cameras that will help us get that 360 view. All right, I want to talk a little bit about the paint. It's very interesting the way that Newmar does that. So first of all, you have 3 coats of your base, and then you're going to take your thinnest color. You have 2 coats of every color on this coach. So we have two coats times 4, that's 8, plus our 3 coats of base. We're at 11 already. But if you take this red, which is the smallest color, they're gonna paint the whole coach red first, and then they do the next color. They layer the colors on top of each other. So by the time you have your 3 coats of base, your 8 coats of paint with your each individual color, 2 per color, then you're gonna have 3 coats of clear, and then you have 2 stages of cut and buff. So that's how you get this beautiful finish as you run your fingers down the coach, especially where there's different colors. You're not gonna feel any transition. An option on the New Aire is the flagpole, and it's just not very expensive, but I think it's kind of fun. You just put that right in there. You can easily fly the American flag, the National Indoor RV flag, or what I really like is our ambassador flag. Here we have our side view camera, so when you turn on your right blinker, you're gonna be able to see down the full length of the coach. Same thing with the left side. Got our marker lights, and then 3343. So I know a lot of you have seen my videos, I've explained this, but 33 is the first 2 digits, that's the length of the coach. 43 is the floor plan. So we're gonna be going through the 3343 today. Another thing I'm super excited about is we actually have another New Aire in stock that's gonna be delivered here shortly of a 3345. So I'll be able to show you some of that floor plan. That's the new floor plan for this year. And then there's the 3341. So there's just 3 floor plans in the New Aire. The New Aire comes with 305 Michelin tires all the way around, so nothing but the best from Newmar once again, and note that they've got the beautiful aluminum finish. Newmar is dedicated to protecting its customers. So one of the things they do is they add this steel compartment here that protects your fuel line. So you just don't have to worry if you have that front end blowout. I hope none of you ever have that. It's gonna protect that fuel line from any debris or anything coming off the road flying up and hitting that. Then we have our marker lights. We have our dual fuel fill here. So this has a 75-gallon fuel tank, which is great for a 33-foot coach because they've given you extra space. So we've got a 75-gallon fuel tank, and then we've got the docking lights. We also have the standard dual pane windows around the coach as well. I know you're all wondering, in a 33-foot coach, is there really gonna be enough storage? I think you're gonna be amazed at what Newmar's packed in as far as storage compartments go. So, I'm just gonna simply open up all this space here. I think it's pretty impressive. Now, I think I mentioned before that we can't keep New Aires in stock. One of the reasons is as soon as they come in, it's either a retail order or it gets snapped up right away. This happens to be a retail order. The customer was kind enough to let us video the coach before it went out for delivery, but we did kind of start to let them move in a little bit. They were anxious, but I thought that was great because this way you can see how much you can get into this New Aire. We've got the freezer refrigerator here. This is really nice. Look how far that comes out. So you're going to be able to easily get into this when your slides are out. You're not going to have to hold it up because it's hitting the top of the slide. Oh, there we go. It's nice and cold in there. Feels good. So you can make this a freezer or a refrigerator if you want to take ice cream or meat, whatever, across the country with you. Put it in there, or you can just use your cooler for tailgating. I know this coach will be used for some tailgating, but you can just set that so you can have all your drinks out here in handy. You don't have to go in and out the coach for that. Another great feature of the New Aire is that we've got the power storage trays. So you can simply just push the button and bring it right out to you. I also love that they've added the little lip here on the storage door. So if I just want to scoot everything in, I can drop that lip, and that makes it a lot easier to get in and out of. Especially if I've got something heavy like a tool chest or something. We've also got that on our other door as well. All right, note that the cargo bays all have the LED lighting strips. It's really nice, really illuminates the storage area well. We've got our Girard awning controls, 110, our GFCI protected outlets here, 110 outlets. This is a control for the bedroom slide out, and then it looks like we've got a control panel here for our X-Sight high definition camera system. The New Aire sits on the Freightliner XCS chassis, and it has the V-Ride suspension. So V-Ride suspension is great. First of all, there's a V-Ride construction in there, and that's going to dissipate the suspension forces that go through the cross members. Basically, it's going to give you a more comfortable ride. It's going to eliminate a lot of that sway that you have if you're on a really bumpy, uneven road or on a sharp turn. It's going to stay more stable. So great feature that they have here in the New Aire. Then we have our docking lights. These are wonderful. They're nice and bright. These are going to. So what Newmar's done is they put this campground. Sometimes these docking lights are options. I believe they're standard on the New Aire, but I always tell my customers you want to have those because you say that you're never going to go into a campground at night. You're always going to end up doing something that you say you're never going to do. So anyway, great feature there. And then we've got another storage compartment here, and there's a light in there as well. Here are our chassis batteries and our battery disconnects. So if we're not lucky enough to have you as one of our storage customers at National Indoor RV Centers, where we keep you plugged into 50 amp service at all times, when you do go to store your coach, you want to make sure that you cut off all power to those batteries so that you don't have any parasitic draw. Behind that, we've got our fuse panel for the back half of the coach. Like I said, the New Aire sits on the Freightliner XCS chassis. It has the Cummins ISB turbocharged diesel engine, which is 360 horsepower and 800 foot-pounds of torque. So what does that mean to you? It means that you can tow 10,000 pounds. So you can easily tow one of our Jeeps that we carry at National Indoor RV Centers, flat towed behind your coach, and you're not going to feel it. All right, here's our 10,000 pound hitch. We've got our receptacle for the brakes. And then I also want you to notice a beautiful tow guard here that says Newmar with the stainless steel. And we have the tailpipe. I know it's a little bit different. We've all seen a tailpipe before, but you can see they've shaped theirs differently. So it dissipates the heat. You can get a lot of heat here. If you stand right underneath it, you can easily burn your foot, your pet. Anyway, this helps spread out that heat, and it's not so intense coming off the back of the engine. I wanted to make sure I pointed out the rear view camera. This is the X-Sight tri-view camera. So you've got 3 different views, obviously. You've got the horizon, the tow vehicle, and then the hitch. So that's really nice. It will also put some grids on your camera when you're in reverse as well. So that's a new addition this year. Now on to the engine compartment. So we easily just pull this lever right here. And then this is on pretty strong struts, so it will hit you in the face. So it comes up easily, just watch out for it. And here's our beautiful engine compartment. Here we've got the coolant for our hydronic heating system, our Oasis system. Then we have our power steering fluid, where we check our transmission. where we check our engine oil, where we fill our engine oil. Then this is our primary fuel filter water separator. So this is going to get rid of any water, sediment, and then it's going to go to our secondary fuel filter here, and then it will go into the engine. This is our coolant for our transmission, and you've got a little globe here, or globe, window, whatever you want to call it, over here to the side of it. We've got our engine block heater, and like I always say, if you need to plug that in, you need to go further south. And here we have our air filter minder and our air filter back here. See that vent up here? This is our side air intake. I think Newmar kind of disguises that. You don't notice it. So side air intake, and then you come into the engine compartment here, comes right down here, and it brings that fresh air down into the engine air filter. This is your charger cooler boot that is a part of the turbo system to cool the air going into the turbo. Everyone wants to know about maintenance on their engine, so I can make it really easy for you. Just a 1, 2, 3 rule. Year 1, oil and fuel filter change. Year 2, air filter change. And year 3, make sure you change your air dryer. Remember, this is a 33-foot diesel coach with a side radiator. You don't see that. This is the only one out there. So we've got the side radiator, which is going to bring in nice cooler ambient air to help cool our radiator fan. Here we have our 15-gallon DEF tank. So you'll hear diesel exhaust fluid, DEF, or DEF. Basically, it's made up of 2/3 deionized water and 1/3 urea. It doesn't like heat or light, and you get 1 gallon of DEF to 50 gallons of fuel. Our rear docking lights for the driver's side of the coach, and then we've got our exhaust pipe here. That is for your Oasis on-demand hot water system. We also have our emergency egress door. I'll show you how this works from the inside, but you can see there's no access from the outside of your coach, only from the inside. We've got our security lights and another camera there that contributes to our 360 camera. Here we have our wet bay. We're gonna have our power water reel here. This is really nice. You can put it through there so you don't get any critters up in your wet bay. And then you just simply push the button, retract that back in. That's really nice. We have our water filter here, and we've got our little tool so that you can change that when you need to. Then we've got our low point drains, our hot and our cold. So if we're not lucky enough to have you as one of our storage customers at NIRVC, where we keep you inside and you don't need to winterize, you'll need to use those drains. And we've got the water faucet here, our gray drain valve and our black drain valve. And here we have our city water. So these two options are what most of you are used to seeing. So you've got your manual tank fill here, then we've got our city supply there, and you're really basically, the new third option is gonna make these other two options obsolete. So basically you're gonna put it in your auto tank fill or your auto city supply. If you've got enough water pressure coming in from the city, you can just use that for your water pressure. But if you've got low PSI, then you just are simply going to fill and turn your water pump on, and you'll be able to use that as needed. I forgot to mention that the red on this water tap is letting you know that this is hot water only. So if you need to have hot and cold, you can go over here to your shower faucet, wash off your furry friends, your feet, but this is just for hot water, wash off your coach or whatever you need it for. We also have the RV SantaCon on and off button here. So you can use the SantaCon system, or if you need to do a manual dump, you can connect your Stinky Slinky here, and then you've got to open this valve here, and then you've got your gray and your black drain valve. Now over here we have our A and our B switch. So the A right now, when this is open, it's pumping water from the freshwater tank into your coach. When you close this and open the B, you can then stick this in your antifreeze, and you're going to be pumping antifreeze into your system if you need to winterize your coach. Now, if you forget how to do that, Newmar is really nice. They give us all the instructions right here to use winterization kit, and it spells it out for you here so you can't make any mistakes. But hopefully you just store with National Indoor RV Centers, and then you don't have to worry about that. gonna notice as I open this cargo bay door here that it's gonna drop down. This is a slipper hinge. So Newmar thinks of everything. When your slides out, it's gonna give you a little bit more clearance here. Then we've got our manual tray here, just one way, but that's really nice. Very easy to access all your storage items there. And again, the LED lighting. Another door on the slipper hinge. And here we have our 8 6-volt AGM batteries, and they're on a pull-out tray, so you just lift those pins here, and very easy to pull those out. All right, we have our docking lights, our fuel fill from the driver's side of the coach for our 75-gallon fuel tank, marker lights. We have our exhaust for our generator. And then we've got our compartment here. We have all the fuses for the front end of the coach. And Newmar's great. They give us this little panel of extra fuses so they're not, wobbling around inside your coach. I love that. And we've also got the release here for the front cap. Behind the front cap here, we have our air horns. Here's the windshield wiper fluid. We have our hot water line to the generator. This is great. So you've got hot water to wash off the front cap and your windshield when you get to your campground. The air line, and we've got the A for Angie, so you can't forget that. We've got our fuel filter for our generator. This is an 8,000 kilowatt Onan generator. We've got a light in this compartment right here, which is really nice. The dash AC air unit here. And then we have all of our hydraulic fuel for the HWH hydraulic system. The New Aire comes standard with 2 Girard awnings, powered awnings. Now we've optioned in the 2 Girard Nova awnings, so it gives you that extra pitch. So we've got a remote control, scroll over to 0, and then press out, and they'll come out together. The other great thing about when you add the Nova option, you get the Girard slide out covers, and you get the power entrance door awning, which you can control from just inside the coach. Remember that this coach is only 12 feet tall, so with that Nova pitch, you really get a lot of extra shade. One of my favorite features, or one of the options that you can put on this coach, is the power window awnings. So we've got those power window awnings on all the windows around the coach, which is super nice. No more taking the pole out, trying to loop it through the hole. You just push a button and you've got awnings over your windows. Then we've got our exterior TV compartment here. So we've got our nice awnings out. We've got our exterior refrigerator freezer that I'm going to get my drinks out of. We're all ready to tailgate. So now we just need a great TV. Newmar gave us the 43-inch Sony 4K TV with the Bose soundbar, and we've got a little switch here which tells you where the source of the sound is coming from, the TV or from the radio dash. We've got 2 receptacles here for 110 outlet, and then we can take our TV and we can swivel it and get it right to where it's best for our audience. So you have 3 ways that you can get into your coach. Obviously, first you can use the key here. Then we have the key fob, so you can lock and unlock the coach. And then we have the key pad, which I really like. So you can set your own unique code. That way, if you want to let a service technician in when you're away, or if you got grandkids coming to visit you, you can give them your code. And one of my other favorite features is right here. You just press the 1 and hold it. It's gonna lock everything, your cargo bays and your door. And then again, you've got your doorbell. Gotta love that. So no one can say they didn't hear you when you came over to visit. All right, let's go check out the inside. One of the things I want to show you that Newmar did that I love this year is they've redesigned their screen door. So you no longer have to open the panel from the inside or outside to get out. You just simply, you've got a little button here. When it's on the door, you've got it right there from the inside. So that's a great design. As I come into the New Aire, I love that they've got these great grab bars. So right here and right here, so that I have a lot of support if I need it. I also like that we've got these switches right here when we first walk in. We have the cargo lights so we can light up our storage compartments, and then we have our battery disconnect button. So coming in or out of the coach, if you want to disconnect batteries, you can hit that right there. And then we have our lock and unlock of our cargo compartments. Not departments, compartments. And we have our patio light. Another improvement for 2019 is a screen. You're all gonna love it. So you just have a little handle right here, pull it down, and it magnetizes right there. And it's very sturdy, it's not falling out of the tracks, and very easy to use. In the New Aire, we have lots of storage up front. So first of all, note the beautiful, this is the sable maple wood color in this coach. And we've got storage here, more storage. Again, more storage. We're going to save this one for later. Lots of storage here. We also have our Wi-Fi router control here, and then our wine guard, Traveler's wine guard. So this is for your HD satellite, and then you can connect with either Dish or Direct. More storage and more storage. Okay, back to this box here. We have lots of controls in here. This is a secondary control for our Girard awning. So I showed you outside that you've got the remote control. You can also do this manually in here, or push button. This is your over-the-air antenna. So if you're in the park and you just want to get local stations, you're just going to turn that on, and it's going to go into search mode, and it will lock on to, we'll see in just a second here. It will give us quite a few stations. And here under the awning, we've locked onto 8 different channels. All right, then we have our driver's side window awning here. So if we want to take that down, our passenger side window awning. Remember, these are all power, so this is a great feature. Then we have our Wi-Fi router button. So this is just merely your on and off power switch to the Wi-Fi router. If you're at home, you might want to turn that off so it's not fighting with your Wi-Fi in your house. Then we've got our entry step button. This is an important button. Once you get to your camping space, you don't want your steps to go in and out every time you open your door. That's just going to, use the motor needlessly. So once you're camping, go ahead and hit that so that your steps will stay out all the time. Then we have our exterior LED lights button here. Here's our driver's side slide out and our passenger side slide out control. Our entry door awning, our entry door awning light, our driver privacy drape. Front here we have the door privacy drape, passenger privacy drape. And then we have our driver's side security lights and our passenger side security lights. This is the Omniscope port. We can plug into this so that we can get diagnostics, troubleshoot electrical features on the coach from right here. Here in the passenger seat, we have a lot of functions. First of all, we have the button for our step cover. So I'm going to put that out so I don't have to worry about falling into the stairwell there. And that comes up and it's nice and sturdy. We've also got the ceiling light, my visor. So that's nice. Sun's coming in, cooking me while we're driving. I can put that down. And we have the map light. Another great feature here is we have the wireless charging pad. So the passenger has one, so does the captain. So that's nice. I've got my cell phone on there, so it's charging now. And we have 2 USB outlets and 2 110 receptacles and 2 USB. And then I've got lighting here for the coach on the multiplex lighting system. Here we have our first of our multiplex lighting panels. So when you hit the bottom 2, you're going to turn off all the lights in the coach. And when you hit the top 2, you're going to get your runway lights. Then we've got the bathroom lights, ceiling high and low lights, bedroom lights, accent lights, and accent lights all off. We have our handy dandy tray. We have a little spot for our drink. This is great if I want to, just have a place to rest my phone or work on my iPad and my computer. It's really nice as you're going down the road. And then it just folds up and you push it right back and it's out of your way. Also on the chair, you've got little finger controls here to move the arms up and down. And we have the seat belt that's integrated right into the seat. So, pulls out and it's very comfortable. Welcome to the beautiful living room of the 3343. So we've opted this in with the 2 recliners. These are super comfortable. Now you normally need about 3 inches of clearance, so I just usually pull them away from the wall just a little bit. sit down, pull the lever, and just super comfortable. And then you can extend them. We also have the lamp stand here in between, and you've got full extension drawers. And the New Aire comes with soft close doors, and it also has the dovetail construction. So this is a new feature. Very nice that they've added this to this luxury coach. And while I'm sitting here in my comfy seat and I want to watch TV, all I have to do is hit the button here, and the TV's going to pop up, and I'll have my 49-inch Sony 4K TV. Now, another great feature is the fact that I've got reading lights for each recliner. So I just hit the button here, and I can direct those as well, so make sure that it works for what you're reading. Notice all the great storage that we have in the 3343. First of all, we have this beautiful china cabinet, and you'll be surprised. I know it doesn't look like it's that deep, but you're going to be able to get more in there than you think you can. Now, along with our beautiful china cabinet, we have opted in the fireplace here. So I love this fireplace. I think it's so beautiful. I love how they've used the crystals here. This is safe ceramic heat. It's got a beautiful LED flame, and it warms up to 1,000 square feet. So you're gonna be nice and toasty in your coach if you decide to take it north. Storage over our recliners. This is nice and deep, and there's no bar in there. So you can, configure it however you need to. You can get a lot of items in there. Notice the beautiful light sconces on the wall. I love those. I think those are really pretty, very current. And then notice this beautiful woodwork. Of course, Newmar always does great woodwork, very fine craftsmen that do this. And this is a sable maple wood. And then we have our thermistor, which is what it's going to talk to the thermostat and let it know what the temperature is and keep this a nice cool temperature in the coach. This coach has the beautiful porcelain tile floors. We went ahead and specialed in the Essex floor in this particular coach, which I think is gorgeous, one of my favorite floors. And then notice the beautiful ceiling. Again, you notice with Newmar, you're not going to see a ceiling lined with vents. You're just going to see these beautiful panels. Above the panels is where you have your AC and your return. So you can just pull these panels down, merely unvelcro your return filter, wash it out, and stick it back up there. Here we have the beautiful booth dinette. So the 3343 floor plan and the 3341 both come only with booth dinette. So we have 2 leaves that we can put in here, but you can see that the booth is very comfy. You can easily get another person here next to me. After you put your 2 leaves in, you've got a leg here that just flips down, so it's super easy. So to put it away, you just push it up there, it magnetizes, take your leaves out and push it back together. So it's all included right here with the table. I love that. Don't forget, we also have storage below the booth. So it's a little bit shallower than normal. That's because Newmar has optimized the everything, every little space here. If they've given you space for storage, that means that they're using that other space below it for something else. Now that I've put both my 2 leaves in the table and brought my 2 extra chairs, you can see that again, this 33-foot coach will feed 6 people. Then we have great storage above the booth dinette. Now, a lot of people might wonder what this is. This is a header, just like you have when you're building a house. So again, Newmar's construction is spot on. We have our DVR and our Sony Blu-ray player and our Bose soundbar. More storage here. And then we'll move into our kitchen. So we have lots of storage, nice and deep storage. Beautiful solid surface countertops and a nice big stainless steel square sink, and something new, Newmar's given us a spot to put our sink covers. So we just tuck them right here underneath the sink. You've got a space if you want to put a garbage can down there or big pots and pans. Then we have our great cutting boards and stovetop covers. I love that. If you're not using your stove, go ahead and just turn those around. You can use this for extra prep space here. And then of course we've got our true induction cooktop. So any pan that a magnet will attach to will work on your induction stovetop. And if you're worried about stinking up your coach with, you know, fish or bacon and making a mess, you can merely just take this out, unplug it, go cook outside. If you know me, you know that I love my garbage tucked away. So Newmar has given us a little garbage compartment here. So that's really nice, very easy to get to. If you want a little bigger wastebasket, you could put it under here, or you can use that for pots and pans. We had the Advantium convection microwave oven, and this is really cool. You can also use this as a toaster. So you just set it options, and then you can scroll through here, and I don't need to bring my toaster oven anymore. Just put it right in there, and it's gonna brown that up nice, just like I have a toaster. And I don't need that extra appliance, which is great. Then we've got our drawer. Right now we've got it lined with remotes and special things like that, but you can put your silverware in there. And then again, notice the soft close drawers. I just love that. And then we have our dishwasher. So just push that. Nice big dishwasher. You could put 10 plates in there if you wanted. Big pots and pans, a little place for your silverware. Make doing the dishes a breeze. And then just note all the big, long, full extension drawers. I just love all that space. We also have the central vac right here. You can hook in here, and you're gonna be able to vacuum your full coach. So that's really nice. This year, they added an on-off switch on your vacuum handle so that you can, turn that on and off as you're cleaning. It's not just turned on as soon as you hook in the hose. We have the Samsung residential stainless steel refrigerator. So it's really nice. It's really deep here. Nice deep drawers and freezer with an ice maker. One of the things that's really important when you're getting ready to prepare to leave the campground is you want to make sure you lock your refrigerator freezer so these doors don't fly open when you're going down the road. So you just merely push that to the side and everything's locked and you're ready to go. Our kitchen wouldn't be complete without our full extension drawers here. And of course, Newmar has lit this compartment. So not only can I get to everything, I can see everything too. Welcome to the master bedroom of the 3343. We have a beautiful queen size bed. This is a sleep number bed, and we have storage below it. Also on each side of the bed, we have USB ports and the 110 receptacles, and a little counter on each side. We have the great sliding door window behind the bed, and then we have storage above the bed. I mentioned that we have the sliding doors behind the head, or basically are our headboard, and they're nice and sturdy so you can lean up against them. Then some of you are probably worried about light. We want to make sure we can make this like a cave back here, right? So we just have a manual blackout shade right behind those. And above the bed, we have the reading lights for each person, and the controls are right up here. We also have the control for our bedroom power window awning, and we have security light controls, shade controls, and lights and reading light controls. We have a nice amount of storage here back in the master. So got our Blu-ray player here, storage. Again, no break in there. We also have the control to extend the awning for the bed, the power window awning for this side of the bedroom. Soft closed drawers again. I know you're gonna get tired of me saying that, but I just love it. And then we've got them below as well. Again, the 43-inch Sony TV, 4K. And then we have our Whirlpool washer and dryer. So stackable washer and dryer. So I like that we can get this door all the way open, easily get into the dryer. and the washer. Now I've got a front-loading washing machine at my house, and every once in a while it starts to get a little mildewy smelling if I don't leave the door just cracked. So you can do that. You can still shut your door and bring your slides in. It's not going to be a problem. Another thing, a little helpful hint, if you ever come into your coach and it smells terrible, horrible, awful, what you might have happened, I have it happen in a bathroom in my house that we don't use very often. The P-trap has lost all the water, it's evaporated. So all you need to do is just take a gallon of water, throw that into the washing machine, put it on the rinse cycle, it will fill up that P-trap again, and you're good to go, and the smell will be gone. Onto the main closet of the master bedroom. Now, first of all, you're gonna see this little clear tab here. That's what you wanna make sure you put down when you're in travel mode, basically. That's one of the things that I check, make sure that my closet doors are locked. So I'm just gonna flip that up. And we have our closet doors. We have our extra chairs for the dinette in here, and our 2 leaves for our table. We also have a recessed shoe area and our safe. And our little thermistor for the master bedroom. Notice what happens when I open the closet door. I know it's a little thing, but voila, the lights just automatically come on and go off when you close it. I need that because I'm constantly leaving them on, so love that feature. Here in the main bathroom, we have a nice big shower, 40 by 32. So you can see plenty of room. I've got my heels on, lots of space here, and we have our flip down shower seat. So for us ladies that want to shave our legs, this is really nice and handy. We also have the shower miser. So that's going to recirculate the cold water back into your freshwater tank. And when this lights up to a little bit lighter blue, then you know that your hot water is ready to come out. So you're going to save water from your freshwater tank and not fill up your gray water tank unnecessarily. So here we have our emergency egress door, which I'll demonstrate in just a second. Our Dometic toilet. We have a 110 receptacle here with 2 outlets, and then we've got big medicine cabinet, and we have another GFCI protected outlet, 2, and more space. So a lot of space here. We have the fantastic fan, and we have more space down below. Again, solid surface countertop with a undermount sink, and then we have the beautiful glass backsplash. Here we are. I'm going to go over this Silverleaf system. This is basically the control mechanism for your coach. So right here we're at the home screen. You're going to see that it's the time and the temperature and the date, and then it's telling us that everything's okay. If it wasn't okay, that would be lit up and it would be yellow. So we can hit that, it would tell us what the faults are here, and we can clear those and go back to our home screen. So our home page, these are actually functions on this first column. These are switches. So when I hit these, I can actually turn my autofill on, my pump on. Those will actually turn things on and off. So home screen, this is where we always will come to. Then we've got our AC power. So this is letting us know that we're plugged into shore power, and that we're, leg 1 is getting 22 amps and 120 volts. Leg 2 is 0 amps and 122 volts. Then we have our max charger draw, which is our 30 amp, and we've got the load shed on. So if we start using more power than we have, it's going to go ahead and start shedding the load for us. And our inverter right now is in standby mode. If we wanted to change that, we can change that there. Then we go to our DC power. So right now we're in bulk charge. This coach just came in, and occasionally you're going to go into your batteries are going to need to be bulk charges, which is basically a high charge. You're going to have a high, medium, and low. So we're on bulk charge right now, and then it will go to absorb once they're almost full, so that batteries can fully absorb that charge. And once they're fully charged, they're just going to go to a float mode, which is your low mode, and it will just charge as needed. Okay, here is our gen set. So right here we can start and stop our generator. We can see that we're in standby mode right now because we're plugged into 50 amp service. We don't need it right now, and this is where we can clear our AGS. Our water, again, we've got the graph that shows us the levels, which is nice. So we're at 92%, 93%, and then 0 on our black and gray. This is where we can turn on our water pump and our autofill. So if I'm out of park and I'm plugged into city water, I'm probably gonna keep my autofill on all the time if I wanna have consistent pressure. In case there's low pressure at the park, keep that on. I'll have high pressure consistently during my stay, and my tank will stay full. Then we have our climate control. So I like to keep this on all, so it's on living room, bath, and bed. Hit the cool button, that's gonna cool the coach. Turn that on and off right there. If I go to auto, that's gonna go between, the coach is automatically going to keep the coach at 64 degrees, whether it has to go to hot or cold. It's in auto mode. And I can set my temperature here. For my living room, bath is just gonna be heat only, and your bedroom. But again, I'm gonna keep it on all, and normally I would keep that on auto. Here's our Oasis button. So we have our diesel burner here, which is not on right now. And then we have our two 110 heating elements. So this has 2 heating elements, which is huge. The Oasis system, basically that provides you on-demand hot water. So you should never run out of hot water with your 2 heating elements plugged in at a park. If you're not plugged in, that's when you would need your diesel burner turned on. Now to floor heat. This is a huge feature. So Newmar does it different than most other manufacturers. They actually use 4-inch tiles with copper wiring. So you have electric floor heat. It's right underneath your tiles. If you ever have a problem with your floor heat, they have a tool that will help them find exactly where the problem is, and you only have to take up that one tile. Also, you get heat immediately. So you can turn it on and then set this is the store button. So if you aren't lucky enough to store with National Indoor RV Centers and you need to store your coach, you want to keep it in store, and then you can set the level so that you'll maintain a constant temperature in your basement. If you want to turn them on, you can set the level of how high, and this floor heat will keep your coach really warm. You can just have your floor heat on and then turn your fans on, circulate that heat. If you actually have these at 10, each level it runs at different intervals, so many minutes, and then it will go off, and then it will run again for so many minutes. If you're at 10, I think you're running 9 minutes on, 1 minute off. So if you leave a coach at 10 overnight, you'll come in the next morning, your countertops might be a little bit warm. It really warms up this coach. One of the great things about having 2 elements is that when your tank gets to 155 degrees, they're gonna turn on and take it up to 188 degrees. So right now they're inactive, they're yellow, but if there was demand, if I turned on the hot water in the sink and I needed some hot water, they're gonna go ahead and work together and maintain that temperature of 188 degrees. Okay, features. This is a page I don't normally mess with. I'm just gonna go into clock because all these other things I would even mess up this coach. So clock, here I can set the time, all is okay. I can set timers, alarms. So that's really easy. And then all okay, go back to my home screen here. Also, I have my camera. So this is gonna scroll through each of the cameras, but I'm impatient. So I'm gonna go ahead and touch the screen and scroll through those on my own. Now, a lot of people get frustrated because they're not sure how to get back to the home screen. Just hold and you'll go back to the home screen. This is a great little button here too. You can dim your panel. So if it's night and that's gonna keep you awake, just go ahead and you can almost take it to black. Then bring it right back up. All right, here's the auto gen start button. This is very important because I get asked all the time how you actually set your auto gen start. So I'm going to go here, I'm going to enable it. Then I'm going to go to my next screen. This is going to tell me it's auto charger starts volts. So anytime I go below 11.8 volts, it's going to go ahead and start and run for 240 minutes or 4 hours. And then top off volts, at 12.5 volts, it's going to run for 45 minutes to just top off those volts. Then here we've got quiet time begin, quiet time end, so you can set that. Right now it's at 7 a.m. on both of those, so you can pick those times. Chassis start volts, so once it's below 12.3 volts, it's going to go ahead and charge bridge duration will be 60 minutes. And then if you're storing your coach for a week or two and you want to exercise everything, you can go ahead and set that here, set the time and how long you want it to run. Here we have our block heater, so we can turn that on right there. If you've got it turned on and you've got it plugged in at your engine compartment and it's below 40 degrees, it will go ahead and turn on. If it's warmer than that, it's not going to turn on, so there's no need for it. And then this is going to be one of my favorite buttons. I always get in bed, I wonder if I've locked the doors, so I can just hit that. It's going to lock my entry door and my storage bays. And then if I want to unlock those doors, let someone in, right there. Easy as that. Everyone always wants to see the coach with the slides in. So here I am, the kitchen area. You can see that I can easily be at the kitchen sink, at the stove, and get the microwave all the way open. Easily get into the full bath because you've got a pocket door. So that's really nice because you don't have to worry about anything swinging open. And I can easily get into my refrigerator and back to my pantry. Well, I feel like it's my lucky day because we actually have 2 New Aires on the lot. This one is actually sold as well, but this is the 3345 floor plan. So I'm so excited that I get to show you 2 floor plans. So the big difference in the floor plans is they flip-flopped them. You've got your big sofa with the fold and tumble sleeper sofa on this side, and then you've got your table and chairs. So in the 3343 and in the 3341, both of those come just with a booth dinette. You can't option in the table and chairs. So if you want table and chairs, the 3345 may be your floor plan. So you've got the 2 chairs that come standard. Then we've got the extra leaves. Pull those out. You've got 2 extra chairs. So it gives you a lot of extra room. You've got your big 49-inch TV on the televator here. So you can switch that from over there. Then we've optioned in the King Air floor. This is the Moonbeam interior with the caramel glazed cherry hardwood. So just nice that you get to see a couple different things. Also note that we've got the ottomans. These are new for 2019 as well. So you've got ottomans with storage space. And then if you want, you can flip them over and use that as kind of like a TV tray. So dual purpose there as well. I want to show you the hutch that's in the 3345. So the folks that specialed this coach wanted this to be solid hardwood, but look at all that space you have here. Lots of storage. And then you have your pantry here, which is lit with the full extension drawers. I love that it's lit and those pull out so far. Make it really handy. Then, just like on the 3343, we've got the wastebasket and we've got the soft clothes. Love it. Moving on to the kitchen, we have the beautiful solid surface polished. These are high polished solid surface countertops and the residential faucets, the big stainless steel sink, and again, tons of storage. We've got the induction cooktop, the Advantium microwave. I think I forgot to tell you, but this has a little side opening. That's where you pull that open, so you're not going to have fingerprints all over your microwave. With the extra little latch right here at the bottom, so that's never going to swing open while you're traveling down the road. All right, so moving from the kitchen to the bathroom, this bathroom is pretty much exactly the same as the 3343. So the 3343 and 3345 are the same bathroom setups. When you go to the 3341, that's where you have your split shower and then toilet potty on this side. So some people like that configuration a little bit better. But you have a choice. That's a great thing. And then from here on back, pretty much it's exactly the same as the 3343. I wanted to show off the bedroom doors. I think they're really pretty. So you just push this down here and then pull it shut. I wanted to show you the 3341 with the slides in, so you can see how roomy this is. We've got the table and chairs here. Now this comes with the 2 ottomans. I've just gone ahead and put them on top of the sofa. You could also put them on the bed in the back. So that's what you're seeing here. But you can see there's plenty of room. You can easily get through to your kitchen, stove, bathroom, refrigerator. Oops, you have to unlock it first. Refrigerator, and you can get back to the master bedroom as well. All right, here in the cockpit, I want to go over all the functions. I'm going to start over here with our HWH computerized leveling system. So our slides are out, so it's safe for us to go ahead and level the coach. So to do this, first of all, we've got to be in accessory mode. Now remember, we've got a keyless start now, so we can't just turn our ignition to the left. So we're actually just going to push the button here once. That will turn us to ACC, which is accessory mode. Now I can go ahead and level the coach. So you can see that we're in travel mode right now, and I'm going to go ahead and just push auto level. You can feel and hear the air going out of the suspension. Right now you can see that all 4 red lights in each corner of the coach are lit, so that means that we're just about level. All right, lights are on and they're solid. Coach is level. Okay, here we have our Allison transmission control. So we've got R for reverse, N for neutral, D for drive, and then mode. If we hit mode, that takes us into an economy fuel mode. All you have to do is just hit that button and you're going to save on your fuel. Then we've got our plus and minus buttons. So if we want to go ahead and just push those together, it's going to go through transmission diagnostics for us. So this has 6 gears. If you want, say you're going down a steep mountain pass and you want to only go to 4th gear, you can change it like this. So you have to be in drive with the park brake off. So drive, and then you can scroll through the gears and say I only want to go to 4th gear. There I am. Okay, here we have our ATC override button. So that's your auto traction control. You just basically want to always keep that in auto. Then we've got our engine brake. So we have an on and off button for the engine brake. And then one of my favorite things too is the power window. So you just push that and opens really easily. Talk to your buds, do the toll, whatever you need. Great thing is we've got 2 cup holders, and they're a little bit, have the blue light for National Indoor RV Centers. Just kidding. But it also a little backlit here. It makes it nice and pretty up here at the dash. We have the USB auxiliary inputs here. And our 12 volt. Our house and chassis battery boost. So this is great. This is new this year. Now, if either the house or the chassis battery need boosting, you just push this button and they work together to help create that charge. And then we've got our light switch, our brights and our dim, our fog lights and our bright lights, and then our dome light. Here we have our parking brake, and then we have our control, internal control for our exterior mirrors and the heat defrost control there. Again, we have our wireless charging pad here for the driver. So I'm charging my phone currently. And then right here we have our comfort drive dial. So again, I'll demonstrate that when we're driving, but you can turn that from 6 to 1. Usually in the parking lot, I would keep it at 1. All right, here we are at the steering wheel. I'm gonna go over some of the features here. These are our marker lights. So if you've passed a semi-truck and he's giving you the okay to pull back in, you just want to hit those 3 times to say thank you. Then we've got our windshield wipers. So we're going to go ahead and just turn those on. High, low, right here. And then you can turn them off. Or if you want to set interval where you designate the time, you would just merely hit the on button. Then count 1 1000, 2 1000, 3 1000, 4 1000. Again, and now you've set your own interval. 1 1000, 2 1000, 3 1000, 4 1000. And here's your windshield wiper fluid so you can wash off your windshield. Now, they've changed the steering column just a little bit, so your cruise control is over here on this knob, and there's a little button, you just turn it to on, and then say you want to go into high idle mode, you want to air up the coach quickly, you can just hit this button here to set it, and your RPMs are going to go up, and you'll be in high idle mode so you can air up a little bit faster. So here we have our horn. We've got our air horn on, so that's nice and loud. They're going to know that you're coming. And here we have control for our great digital dash here. So I'm gonna go to my trip 1. I want some information, so I just hit trip 1 and hit OK. That's going to tell me my distance for trip 1 was 553 miles. The time was 9 hours, and fuel used was 89.7 gallons. So now I'm going to go back, go to trip 2. I can go through the same information, go back, and then I can just keep going through gauges. I like this one especially because it tells me my distance to empty. So I've got 199 miles before I'm empty. You never want to take your coach to empty, by the way. And go back, fuel economy. So that gives me that information. Cruise control. This coach comes with an option for collision mitigation. So right here, I can personally set my following distance. So if I want it to be a little closer, I'd choose that. I can scroll through, press which one I want, and then hit OK to select. And then we've got vehicle configuration, diagnostics, and we can turn the menu off so that it's not there on our screen at all. This dash that you see right here is the same dash that you would see in your S-Class Mercedes. All right, I want to make sure that I tell you about the 24/7 app that Freightliner has. So this is great. You can locate your dealer, 1-800 number for help. You can email them, service survey, or I like to go to Owner HQ. So you can have specific things about your vehicle, put your calendar in there when you need servicing done. This is a favorite button of mine, the dash lights. So here I can see all the warning codes that I may get, and if I'm not sure what they mean, I can just click on that. That's going to let me know that to check my transmission indicator. So I think that's really helpful. This 24/7 app is great. Another thing that I love about this is when I call that 1-800 number, look at that. I don't even need to program it into my phone. I'm just going to hit the button and call them, and when I call them, I'm going to get a certified technician with an average tenure of about 18 years with the company. So I'm not calling a customer service line and going over to someone in another country that I can barely understand what they're saying to me. I'm actually going to get someone with knowledge that can help me right then. So I think that's huge. All right, we have our pedals button here. So this is really nice. You can move your pedal forward and backwards so that it's comfortable, easy for you to reach that pedal. Here we have our passenger visor. So I can push that easily while I'm driving if the sun's coming in. It's only going to go down this far when the engine's on so that it doesn't block my view of traffic. This is your front visor or day shade. And I love the day shade in the New Aire. It has a little bit of texture to it. I think it's really pretty. And we've got our blackout shade. So for the front windshield, we have our docking lights. Then we have our overhead fans and a high, medium, low for those fans. And then we have our front fan. So when we have our furnace turned on, we can blow that out at a high or a low setting. Our generator start, so this is another place that we can start and stop our generator. You can do that while you're traveling down the road. A lot of people think they need to stop. They don't. They can do that right here. That's why it's at the dash. Easily turn it on or off from here. Our entry door lock. Our air horn. So we've got the air horn turned on. If I do that, then we go back to our wussy horn. And then our courtesy lights, those are for our passengers. If we hit those on, it will just illuminate little courtesy lights along the floor. And then we have our passenger visor. On the 2019, there's a new function. So now your awnings, your TV lockout, and your slide kind of lockout was all based off of if your ignition was on. 2019, it's off your park brake. So that's great. You can have your ignition on, gives you extra voltage as you bring in your slides. So here, your menu button, you've got your radio, your media center, XM radio, Bluetooth, HDMI, auxiliary audio, camera control. So one of my favorites is obviously the 360 view. So I can see everything that's around my coach. This is great when you're driving down the road. It's also great when you're in the campground. If you hear a noise outside, throw up your camera and see what's outside. We also have different hitch views here. So I have kind of a horizon shot, rear camera, or I can look right down at my hitch. I can look on either side of the coach, front and back. Then we have our setting for our iPod, our Rand McNally. So got my nav system here. Go to my maps. And set up. So I can set up items there, back to my menu. I've got my aux zone or my house mode. And house mode, that will just let you connect with your Bose sound system. Your USB auxiliary inputs, this is where you would plug in your iPod, your MP3 player, items like that. We have an additional 12 volt here. Then we have our dash AC controls. We like the 4, cool, and then hot and cold, obviously, and then you set where you'd like that to blow out. And we've got nice little trays here. All right, we're just about ready to take this New Aire out for a test drive. So one of the things that I get asked a lot, or if you've never driven a Class 8 diesel coach before, one of the main things you have to think about is that in your car, your tires are in front of you. Obviously, in this beautiful diesel coach, the tires are behind us. So you don't want to start your turn until the center of your front axle right here is at the turn. So just draw a line visually kind of for yourself. Go straight up from that front axle so you can see that your center point is behind the passenger window. So kind of visualize that on the passenger side, and then we're going to go ahead and do that on the driver's side as well. Your turning point on the driver's side, go straight up from the center of your front axle, is going to be right at your slide, so behind the driver. So just remember that when you're in the driver's seat. All right, now in the driver's seat, I can see that my turning point is behind the passenger window and behind me right at the slide. I'm going to go ahead and adjust my seat, make sure it's in the right position, and put my armrest down. We've got our little knob here that lets me adjust that so it's perfect. And then I need to adjust my steering column. So down to your left, by the floor, there is a pedal that you push, and you can telescope your steering wheel and pull it down so it's comfortable. I kind of like to sit like it's almost in my lap. And then of course we've got the pedal controls, so you just make sure those are where you want them to be too. Now we're ready to start the coach. So again, the New Aire has the keyless start. So the first button you're going to hit will take you to accessory mode, which I've talked about, and then we're going to hit it again. We'll be in on, and then I just put my foot on the brake and hold the button in and start the coach. Easy as that. Now occasionally, if you keep your key fob too close to your ignition button, it may drain the battery. And if you get a warning that says something, check your key fob, and it won't start, what you need to do with the Freightliner chassis is just take the fob, actually touch it right to the button and push it in, and it will start. Now, if your battery runs out, this is just like the key fob in your car. You can change those batteries on your own as needed. Okay, so it's a hot day in Texas once again. I've got the dash AC on, which is lovely, but I also want to keep my passengers cool in the back of the coach. So I'm going to go ahead right now, turn on my generator. and let the ACs get going in the back of the coach as well. So this is nice and cool as we travel on our. All right, so I've lined myself up. I want to go straight back. One of the features of Comfort Drive is that your tires will always return back to center. So you can see the steering wheel is going on its own. My hands aren't on it. It's always going to return back to center. This is great, especially for you newbies. You go to a campsite, you want to make sure your tires are always straight so that as your coach, the air suspension goes out, that it doesn't sit down onto crooked tires and blow out your fiberglass. So now that it's straight, I'm just going to put it in reverse, hands off the wheel, and I'm going to go straight back. Okay, so I'm coming up to my first right turn. I'm going to stop. Right now I've got my right turn signal on, so you can see that I'm getting a full shot of the right side of my coach. Okay, now I'm going to pull forward until my passenger, the back end of my passenger window is at the turning point, and now I'm going to start my turn. I can watch my bottom tires in my lower mirror here the whole time and see that I didn't even get close to the curb. And then I'm right in my lane. That's what a lot of people are really nervous about, first-time drivers. I know that I was really nervous about being able to stay in my lane. I felt like I was wider than the actual lane. Well, obviously you're not. So you just, practice makes perfect, but just practice looking a little bit further down the road than just right in front of you, and it helps you keeps you in your lane. And then I kind of look at my lane in my mirror. I can see that I'm in my lane on both sides, and if I need to move over. One of the little hints that was given to me when I was first learning too is that you always need to hug the left side of the lane that you're in. So don't go to the left lane always. That will make people really mad because we're really big and they think that we're like a big trucker and we don't want to hog that left lane. But whatever lane you're driving in, hug the left side of it. Everything bad happens on the right. Street signs, road debris, you name it. So hug the left side of the lane. All right, I want to set my cruise control so that when I'm driving that the following distance is a little bit closer, that it will alert me if I'm too close. So I'm going to go ahead and just scroll through those options and hit OK. Okay, we're ready to go. Like I said before, the New Aire comes with a collision mitigation system. So once I get on a highway here, I'll turn that on and we'll set it and let you see how that works. I've got cars coming in front of me. It's going to detect that they're too close, and it's going to start to slow me down there. You can see the blue area here. So I'm slowing down. As these cars move further away from me, it will go back up to my 65 miles per hour. Now, one of the great features about Newmar is that it has Comfort Drive. I've talked about it a little bit. You've got your Comfort Drive dial right here on the front of the dash. As I'm going down a freeway, I usually like to have a tighter, stiffer filling steering column. Just makes me feel like I can, stay in my lane better. That's just me personally. I know I have customers that will keep it at a 2 or a 3, but I personally like it around a 5 or a 6. So I can adjust that while I'm driving. So I'm just going to go ahead and turn that up to a 5. And again, I'm hugging the left side of my lane. Got my Comfort Drive on 5. This is a really windy day. Say we've got a 30 mile per hour wind just pushing the coach. That computer is going to sense that and adjust for me automatically. So I literally I can drive with one hand on the wheel, just keep myself in my lane. There's not going to be a lot of tension. My drivers that have come from other manufacturers' coaches to a Newmar have said that they can drive longer with less stress, less fatigue. They just enjoy the ride. I also have my engine brake on so that it will automatically, if I'm not in cruise control and take my foot off the gas pedal, fuel pedal, then it will start to slow me down. I've taken my cruise control off now. It's gonna automatically start slowing me down. I remember I like to have that 360 camera on all the time so I can see, behind me. It's like my rear view mirror right here. And I can change that setting. I want the horizon setting. Maybe I just want the rear setting, but then I'm gonna go ahead and put on my 360 camera. So I really like that. I can see the cars coming up next to me, and I like to keep that view. Okay, we're driving down the road. I've got the dash AC on, obviously the engine's on. I've got the generator on, and I've got my 2 AC units on. And the decibel reading is 78.2, which is the same level that you would have in a luxury car. Thank you so much for joining me today as I toured you through the 2019 Newmar New Aire. I'm so glad that we had a chance to show off the 3343 floor plan and a little bit of the 3345 floor plan. We were lucky to have them both on site. So I hope that you found some new information. Again, Newmar made this coach. It's smaller in size, but they didn't sacrifice any of the luxury in this unit. Now, I know you're probably wondering, so what would it cost for me to own this coach? The MSRP, or the MAP pricing, which is minimum advertised pricing, which is the only thing that I can share with you today, is $439,523. If you want to find out what we can sell you this coach for at National Indoor RV Centers, feel free to give us a call, go online. We'd love to help you. Thank you so much for watching this video. Let me know if you have any comments or something you'd like to see next time. And if you enjoyed it, please hit like and subscribe. Come visit us at National Indoor RV Centers, where we have a location in Atlanta, Texas, Phoenix, and Vegas will be opening in January of 2019. You can also join us at one of our AIM rallies. I'd love to meet you.